He's got it all to do. But given the way he played in his first match in this session, he could definitely do it. Breaks of 61, 123. And then 135 to defeat James Cahill. If he can replicate that form, Shaun Murphy might have a few problems. But there was no problem at all knocking that red in, Dave. What a start.
Well, beautiful control. I mean, look at the cue ball there, just off the baulk cushion. The red's away from the pocket. He's dropped it in nicely, landed on the black. Could not have played that any better. Just finished a little close to this red, though. Of course, he's had a bit of a wait to play this match since the first session ended. About 10 to 4.
Nine.
Could be crunch time over on table 2 in the latest match that looks like it's going to be a draw. Zhao Gudong has a very straightforward blue
14.
to gain a point against Michael Holt.
15.
The blue is in. History looks like repeating itself in his first match. Michael Holt was 2-0 up on Zhou Yulong. Couldn't get the win. 2-0 up on Zhao Gudong. Again, has to settle for a share of the spoils. That having had first chance in the third frame and missing a black
22.
off its spot. So 4 matches played on the other table today. All of them 2-all draws.
23.
Well, that red has just come back at the last minute and got in the way of the black. There's another red in the way of the blue. So unless he takes what will be an ambitious brown, it's end of break. Or even the green. Green it is, refusing to pass up the opportunity to continue, and just a sign of his confidence. You know, he had to get that. He'd be leaving the reds on in what is a crunch match, remember.
26.
But Shaun Murphy's looked good right from the off today. That's a great recovery pot.
This is actually a similar scenario to his first group. He needed just a draw in his last match there. He ended up beating Tian Pengfei 3-1. It wasn't convincing. I think he'll need to play to a high level in this match.
Well, he's made
34.
a terrific start. I'm sure he would have kept an eye on the way Gilbert was playing in his last match as well, his second match, and be aware that he'd be confident coming into this one. Yeah, 4 draws on table 2. You sticking, Phil, with your prediction they can't all be drawn?
Yes, but I'm worried.
If they are, then clearly it's going to come down every placing to the high break.
And if the next match is drawn, we will let you know exactly how it all stands.
35.
Next match, by the way, Michael Holt has got to shake off that disappointment and try and beat Ben Wollaston. You might be wondering why there's a little bit of out of sync action going on. Well, the first 2 matches on table 1 in this session was slightly shorter than the first match on table 2.
43.
What is a dream red he got in with? He's had to recover a couple of times. The green was one, but wow, he's missed that black. That was
Shaun Murphy.
not foreseeable.
43.
Very surprising, and for Dave Gilbert, very encouraging.
One.
It's a perfect table to mount a counter-attack. The black's off its spot, but it's not out of the reckoning. And anyway, not vital that he pots blacks. Ample on the table to get back into the frame.
Thank you. 8.
For the second time this evening, trying to go in and out of balk. He hits the brown
14.
rather robustly.
David Gilbert, 30.
It's noticeable, isn't it? Now this is the crunch match. Just a couple of errors have already crept in. Miss black from Murphy was unexpected. The positional error. Ditto from Gilbert. So maybe it won't be quite as free-flowing as earlier on because it's all on the line. Murphy needs 2 frames. Gilbert needs 3. Michael Holt breaking off against Ben Wollaston on table 2 in the 5th match there. He'll look back on some regret, Michael Holt, if he doesn't win tonight. I mean, he could finish last, actually. And bearing in mind he was 2-0 up twice, that would be very disappointing. Anyway, he's still got a chance to win that one.
I think he just caught a hint of that middle pocket jaw with the cue ball. It slowed it down sufficiently to keep it quite close to the ball cushion. So this is quite a toughie. And on several occasions he's been overcutting these today. Oh, well, that was completely the opposite. Caught it far, far too thick, and where it's all finished up, he's a little fortunate. Murphy will be pleased, though, to see the red go on the side cushion.
One.
Again, terrific pot from Shaun Murphy. Just seems now, I think, the most reliable player from long range.
Yes, he also timed the shot so well he was able to stun across the face of the pink, which, as we've just seen, went.
7.
Well, congratulations to Mandy, who entered our competition for tickets to watch Shaun Murphy at the Champion of Champions, and she will be coming along in November
8.
to Bolton for that tournament. So congratulations, Mandy. We'll have another competition tomorrow because Judd Trump, of course, the Masters champion, will be in action.
$40. $50.
So one more red needed. Little nudge on it, and well, not great. He's checking the scoreboard. 51 in front.
21.
Trying to nudge this into play. Didn't quite come off. But when we say 51 on, of course, that's 3 reds with 3 blacks. There's a red safe. Brown's not great. He's holding the cards here, Murphy.
Shaun Murphy, 21.
Murphy fully aware of all the permutations, and he's also aware from past experience of just how well Dave Gilbert can play. 5-3 in career head-to-heads in favour of Murphy. But Gilbert on occasion has played superbly against the Magician. As Dave said, only potting the black will do. And he's on the black. Good shot at that pace. And now the angle on the red. Potted in bulk, screwed back for the black.
8.
We might yet see a respotted black. Of course, Gilbert does have the option, if he doesn't drop nicely on that last red, of getting a snooker in behind the pink. But he will undoubtedly target the clearance if he can.
Nine.
Yeah, it's, again, imperative this black goes in.
This is a little pacey. But it stops before the cushion, and that could be significant. He can now stun the white in behind the pink and lay a good snooker. Had the cue ball travelled another couple of inches and been dead on the top cushion, that wouldn't have been possible. Went for the jugular. Went for the pot to middle.
Gilbert, 16.
Laudable in one sense, but it might be costly.
Yeah, the problem is you've got no way of knowing really where the red's going to finish. He's left a chance here, and in it goes. So he rolled the dice there, Gilbert, but looks like it's going to cost him. And remember, Shaun Murphy will only need one more frame after this one to be our group winner.
Three of the four groups in this phase so far have been won by the top seed, the highest ranked player.
4.
And now Murphy is one frame away from
6.
making it 4 out of 5.
And he'd also be from 4 out of 5 winners previously having won a ranking event. Mark Williams, Chris Wakelin, Robert Milkins, of course, the other three. Often Senkam
9.
yesterday was the odd man out. So experience is starting to come to the fore in this Championship League.
Shaun Murphy, 9. And the frame.
Murphy did not win that in a single visit. Gilbert went for the big attacking shot on the last red. It did not pay off. Murphy 1-0 up. One more required to top the table. Certain players have said that when they come into their last match and they need only a draw or indeed a frame, it can be rather strange psychologically.
Thank you. Frame 2.
Shaun Murphy's
Shaun
taking
Murphy
it in
to
his stride. One down, one to go. As for Dave Gilbert to top the group, it's quite simple now, but not simple to do. He has to win the last 3 frames.
Yes, and the problem with that is he may have to rely on Murphy making errors, which he did early actually in that last frame. He missed that black, but you can't hope that your opponent's going to miss. To be fair to Gilbert, he went for it in frame 1, trying to pot that red, but he missed it and left it. That was that.
Good thing for Dave Gilbert here. At least he doesn't have to try and do something to finish in second place. That's already locked up.
By the way, we didn't give you the answer to the question. Which we gave you the winner, but the question was how many ranking events has Shaun Murphy won so far in his career, and the answer is 11. And if he keeps knocking balls like that in, it might be number 12 on Friday.
Absolutely.
I mean, 11 is a fantastic haul. There's not many players who are in double figures, but he is trailing some of his contemporaries, isn't he? The players of his own age, like Neil Robertson, Mark Selby, who grew up with, both in the 20s. Of course, Judd Trump's in the 20s, a younger man. Now then, is he on this red? The slow walk.
6.
Is not a good sign. Still would have a chance at the one to the left middle.
Hindered queuing, isn't it? And I don't think you can see the black. If he can, it's very tricky. Well, in answer to your question, Dave, 11 players are in double digits in terms of ranking titles.
Yeah, it's a tribute to Shaun Murphy, really, that, you know, you feel like maybe it should be more.
Shaun Murphy.
You know, just because of how good he is. He's won all the big titles, including the Tour Championship. That was his latest big success last season. Ding Junhui's on 14, so he'd be his next target.
Yeah, here's the ultimate compliment. Ronnie O'Sullivan has made the most, or won the most, 39. And with him, you have the same feeling. It could and should have been more.
Maybe, but that would have meant for someone else it would have been less, you know. So there's only so many tournaments, and they're all difficult to win. Hello? Wow.
One.
Well, I thought Shaun Murphy was the magician, not Dave Gilbert.
He spied this 3-ball plant.
8.
I mean, these middles, you've got to be so exact. And that was beautifully played by Gilbert.
No.
Deserve more there. He does have a red to middle.
16. $17.
And now, what an opportunity.
Well, this is a dashing break, isn't it? The way he's going about it, trying to get
24.
things into the open. Slightly sort of hurricane-esque there, wasn't it?
$25.
A big moment on table 2. Michael Holt has got frame ball brown to win the first against Ben Wollaston. He was well behind in that frame. He's put together a cracking clearance to the brown. Wollaston needs a snooker. He's spot on the green. Outstanding.
Well, what I admire about Holt, since dropping off the tour just over a year ago now,
30.
Instead of sulking about it and complaining about the system, he's gone into his coaching, which has been successful. He's in demand for that. He set up his own YouTube channel to
31.
augment it. So he's trying to make things happen for himself while he's off tour, not expecting other people to do it for him.
Yeah, Holt does lead 1-0. By the way, with all of those
38.
matches on the other table being 2-all draws, if the other two end up being draws as
39.
well, then it will come down to high breaks. At the moment, Zhou Yulong has made a 114. Zhao Guodong 109. Michael Holt 91. Ben Wollaston 88.
46.
Yeah, more 2-2s than a ballet class over there.
$47.
And this was all launched by a 3-ball plant.
53.
We expected
54.
this group, Dave, to be fluent and entertaining, and it certainly lived up to expectations.
Yeah, they're not exactly shrinking violets, the four of them, are they? They're all players who like to get on the front foot and go for their shots, and we saw Gilbert attempt that in the last frame. It didn't happen, but this has been a terrific contribution launched by that
59.
3-ball plant. Just trying to put the frame to bed now, and then, well, if you can win the next
60.
as well, then the whole group will come down to the last frame. We've seen that already a few times this week.
$66. 67.
On table 2 tomorrow, it's Group G. 2 of the players involved in that. Nearest the camera, Sam Craigie. On the other side of the practice area, Michael White.
74.
They'll be joined by Jack Jones and Long Zihuang.
75. $82. $83.
Well, Dave Gilbert made, of course, 2 centuries in his first match of the night against James Cahill,
89.
and looks set to make a third here. And this is someone who still
90.
has got to pull up some trees to win the group. But if he carries on like this, he can definitely do it.
Yeah, looks a different player from the one who, by and large, has really struggled over the last couple of seasons.
95.
I get the sense 2023-24 will be more productive.
98.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely feels like a top 16 player. He's been there. At the moment, he's 21, but he can get back in, of course. With strong performances, starting in the first event of the season, one he won 2 years ago, this Championship League. He's made a 3rd century of the evening. Just to show Shaun Murphy what he's up against here. Murphy still needs 1 frame, and there's only 2 left to play.
And when Murphy left the table, he could not envisage this.
$113. Foul.
A cheeky 3-ball plant was followed by a composed break of 113. It is still very much group alive here. 1-1. With Dave Gilbert powering this one. Hard hat required on table one. Onto the carpet,
First frame.
but he's not on the floor.
David Gilbert to break.
He's picked himself back up, and if he can win the last couple of frames, it will be Murphy who's feeling a little blue.
Well, he's knocked a lot of long balls in today, but we're right at the death here in this group now. Yeah, and suddenly, I mean, it wasn't easy that by any means, but suddenly they're not going in. That Gilbert is hitting the ball really well now. And there was a big moment in that match with Tepchara Nu earlier. His first match, Gilbert, he was 1-0 down and needed a snooker in the second frame. And he got it, and he won the frame. And okay, that match was only drawn, but it gave him some sort of foothold. The way Tepchara was playing, it looked like 3-0 actually.
6.
And he basically would have been out then, but so he got the draw, played much better against Cahill, and here again looking good against Murphy. And let's be clear, if anyone knows how the format can shift and change and how your emotions can change, it's someone who's won it. Mark Allen 2 years ago played superbly, but Dave Gilbert it was who got the win.
Yes, 3-1 in the knockout final. Allen was the better player over the course of the entire tournament. Gilbert was the first to acknowledge that, but in the match that mattered most, Dave got the verdict. I think playing someone like Murphy agrees with Dave Gilbert.
12.
An open, expansive kind of snooker.
13.
He's beaten him on some big occasions, International Championship, Scottish Open, and also at the Champion of Champions. Put everything into that one. And at least he's got some form of reward.
20.
Red to middle. And a couple of
21.
Murphy's wins over Gilbert have only been 6-5.
Looking really confident here, isn't he? Really focused.
8.
Carrying on really from that Cahill match.
$29.
Also focused, our pal Michael Holt, 44-0 up in the second frame against Ben Wollaston. Perfectly on the pink, nicely in amongst them to take a 2-0 lead.
And then he will
34.
hope that it won't be a case of lightning striking the third time, because of course he was pegged back two previous times. If he could get the win there, then obviously puts the pressure on the last match, Show You Long, Shagudong.
35.
Someone's going to have to win there, and of course if he wins 3-0 Holt, then he really does put pressure on them. It'll be some story. He only got the call up, didn't he, a couple of days before the first stage. Ronnie O'Sullivan withdrew.
Yes, I think he had 3
40.
days notice, and so it was all the
41.
bonus.
$48.
Well, Holt is definitely over the line for 2-0. And it's getting
49.
that way for Gilbert to be 2-1.
To take the whole group to a final frame shootout. Shaun Murphy had a chance at a long red at the start of the frame. It wasn't easy, but it's the sort of ball he has been potting today. But he didn't pot it, as we just look at Michael Holt here,
56.
64-0 up with 51 on, so it's going to be 2-0. In what's been a tight group, 4 draws. This is his last match.
57.
I think he's thinking about the break as well, isn't he? He's trying to make a high break because he's aware of the situation with the draws. That's why he's umming and ahhing, even though he's won the frame.
$62. $63.
This is frame ball. Playing like a dream,
70.
Dave Gilbert.
$71.
Yeah, every chance to make his 4th century of the evening.
$78. $79.
Must feel great to be in the zone like this. He's had his problems where he hasn't enjoyed it, but he'll be enjoying this, clearly.
$86. $87.
The 2 group winners today go into a finals day group with Chris Wakelin and Rob Milkins.
$94. $95.
Well, this is just brilliant stuff, isn't it? This will be the 5th frame he's won in this session with a 4th century.
Simply world class.
101.
Dave Gilbert has
Gilbert,
confined
101
that frame to room 101. He leads 2-1 and 1 more required. And Shaun Murphy will finish in 2nd place. Dave Gilbert will be back on Friday. Top of the wish list when you start any day is to see quality snooker. Yeah, we've seen that in abundance. Secondly, you want to see the group go down to the final frame if possible, and that's happened also.
Thank you. Frame 4.
Dave Gilbert
Shaun Murphy to red.
in a comfy seat, not quite in the driver's seat though. It's a 50-50 shot. Whoever wins this frame will advance.
He's played great though, hasn't he? You know, he's playing well enough to suggest if he gets one chance, he can do it. And that's clearly something you associate with Shaun Murphy as well, but we haven't seen much of it in this match really. The frame he won was a bit scrappy. Now then, how much of the red can he see here? Dave Ford, the referee, having a look.
Don't think I get it any, but that's my eyes.
Well, he said, I don't think we can see any of the red, but that's my eyes. Well, don't think you should be giving advice somehow. Reels away because he's left a red to middle. Not to be confused with easy, but it will pot.
One.
Very nicely done. He was slightly hampered. So Shaun Murphy first in. If you're just joining us, this is a straight shootout. Whoever wins the frame has won the group and comes back. On Friday, will there be just 8 players left in the Championship League?
Six.
Dave Gilbert has played a higher level of snooker than some of the group winners so far this week.
7.
And yet he could be on the outside looking in. You might say he's played to a higher standard than all of the group winners this week, actually.
14.
Yeah, and he's not really doing anything wrong here either.
15. 21.
Development work to do for Murphy. Just one open red remaining after this one goes.
Thank you. 22.
Yeah, there could be drama yet. It's going to depend so much on getting reds into play, of course.
$29. $30.
Has he got enough angle? There's your answer. I thought he just slightly brought the cue ball back too far.
37.
Look at that cue ball bend off the cushion. Gripped the cloth and did a left-hand turn as we're looking.
Shaun Murphy.
So has to settle for
37.
37. It's a good start, but it's not decisive.
Well, he was clearly concerned seeing that red go towards the right corner. That's the thing, the mood has changed a little bit because this is all or nothing now. Murphy already 37 in front. Could be about one good shot here. And that is a very, very good shot. So that could be Murphy in to get this one. You saw Gilbert looking concerned. This is why, even though the red had come slightly away from the pocket, Murphy able to knock it in, stay on the black.
The reds he's looking at,
8.
maybe for future use. Now, for many players, this would be a pressure shot with the rest. For Murphy, it should be meat and drink.
Okay. 9.
I must say, at all the groups we've done over
50.
the last 4 weeks, Dave, I think this has been my personal favourite. Quality and ultimately drama combined.
Thank you. 16.
You look to see whether the plant was on. Either he wasn't sure or it isn't.
23.
He needs red, black, red.
24.
Needs to be a late twist. A bit of a shame for Gilbert that he didn't really get a look in this frame, because he was playing so well, of course, up to that point.
$31.
The plant to go through. It was
32.
on.
Well, credit to Shaun Murphy, great champion of our sport. He's had a great 2023 in the second half of last season, and he's looking to hit the ground running in the
39.
new campaign. Carry on collecting trophies. Dave Gilbert played brilliantly tonight. In the 2 matches he played, he made 4 centuries, including 2 in this match. But as I say, he didn't really get a clear-cut chance in this conclusive frame.
$47. 48.
He came into this frame knowing he had to respond to Gilbert's brilliance. The fact he has done, I think, will stand Murphy in good stead, not just for the remainder of this tournament, but going forward.
55. 56. 63. 64.
Murphy has the chance to finish with a century of his own. End of chance.
$71.
That is the most minor irritation. The
Shaun
main
Murphy,
job was
71.
done with breaks of 37 and 71. Dave Gilbert 2, Shaun Murphy 2. And with 7 points, the magician will now weave his magic on finals day.